Hey y'all, Jordan from Carolina Sewing back here, and today I'm going to show y'all how to do a Sashiko hand stitch on just a regular sewing machine. Let's get into it. So if you don't know what a Sashiko stitch is, it's actually it's a hand stitch that was developed in northern Japan somewhere as early as 1615, and it's typically used with a hand stitch needle, 50 millimeters, with very tightly woven heavy cotton thread. You can either do it by hand, or Baby Lock makes a machine called the Sashiko. So you either do it by hand or you get a specialty machine. But I'm going to actually show you how to do it on just a regular machine with a built-in stitch. You're only going to need a few things. So first is just a bobbin with some heavy-ish cotton thread. I'm using just like something I would normally use for a long arm, so nothing too crazy heavy, but it's not very light either. Monofilament invisible thread. This is the secret. And this I've found helpful is just a regular top stitch needle. This is gonna help going through different layers, and it's gonna help deliver that invisible thread because it can be kind of a pain to sew with. As I've found out doing all the testing for this, I've found these to be a lot more helpful. So if you have a Janome Continental M7, good news, there's a Sashiko stitch built in with a few modifications, and the tools that I showed you, you can do it very easily. But I was looking on some of my other machines, and a lot of them also have a stitch that'll work for it. So right here we have the Janome Skyline S5. If I flip this up, and I can't say what machines have and don't have this. Okay, so I'm by no means saying that all Janomes have it and no other machines have it, or vice versa. You got to look on what you have, and what you're looking for is this stitch right here, number 35. 3 stitches and a space in between, and that is the same on here as the S6, like that. Also on the Memory Craft 8200, right there. And on one of my favorite machines, the 9450, it is right here. So any machine you have with that stitch right there, this will work. So before I get into the demo, I do just want to tell you, once you select that stitch, you're going to want to do a few things. One, get it all set up with the thread proper, new needle, and then you're going to take your stitch length and go all the way out. Most of them, all of them, are going to be 5 millimeters. And then you're going to want to play around with your tension. So whatever you're going to be sewing on, if you're doing like 2 layers of cotton with a batting in between, just get a big sandwich of it and find your tension. Somewhere between a 7 and a 9 is what I found across the board on most of these machines. But I have noticed that a lot of them are a little bit different, and there's no right number in general. And you're also going to want to go slow, painfully slow. I mean, like bottom quarter slow. It's pretty rough, but it makes the quality come out better, and it eases some of the breakage because you're not only using monofilament thread, but you're using it on a very high tension. So you're not really helping yourself. This isn't a very beginner friendly technique, but if you do it right, it's really cool. So I'm going to show you how to set it up on the M7, and then I'm going to do some sew-alongs with it, and I actually have a sample to show you first too. So I wish you could just see this in person, but this is just a small wall hanging done with the Sashiko stitch on the M7. Now see if I can kind of get close here so it'll focus, but you can see it looks crazy real. I mean, it looks like you really took some time and sat here and hand stitched it. It's consistent, it's clean, it's really good. It takes a lot of time because you got to go so slow, but this sample looks great. So I'm in front of the M7, so if you have this machine you can follow along. If not, just ignore this next part and just find the stitch I showed you earlier. So on this machine you go to the t-shirt, you go up here at the top where the heart and these little leaves are, and then right down there you can see the word Sashiko. You can click that, and it's got 3 different styles. We're going to do this first one right here, And once you are on a different machine, once you pull up this stitch right there, you can go to where you can adjust. Width is probably going to be defaulted right there in the middle, and that's perfect. This is your length. We're going to jack that all the way up, and you can kind of see it on my left side of my screen there. You can see it pulling. You can kind of get an idea of what's actually happening. So we're using that heavier thread on the bottom with the invisible thread on top. We're also going to jack this tension up. On this particular machine, we're going to do a 7. And the invisible thread is going to pick up the heavy thread so you see it on top. And then this stitch right here is going to be invisible thread, but you can't really see it. So then it's going to look like it's just a heavy stitch. It goes down the fabric, and you come back up and down it just like a traditional heirloom Sashiko stitch would be done. There's the finished product. Just did like a little simple basket weave thing, pretty cool. This is just 2 layers of cotton with some batting. You can get really creative and use like a circle sewn attachment, and you'll be able to get perfect circles for some really cool heirloom stuff. But you know, all in all, it was slow. I mean, I don't know if you could have seen that I have this on like an 1/8. It's as slow as it really gets, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, I finished this thing up in maybe like 8 or 10 minutes. It wasn't too terrible. Bigger projects are going to take slow, but it's really worth it with how good this actually comes out for stuff and how easy it is. I mean, you can do this with just a pretty standard machine in a lot of cases. So I hope that was a cool video for y'all. I want to do different stuff like this in the future, so drop in the comments, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.